So another thing I wish I had learned in my first lesson is how to tune the guitar. I think that's something that's often overlooked. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a couple different ways to do it. And the first way is going to be using just a clip-on tuner. This is a Snark. You can get these, I don't know if you can see that. You can get these, on Sweetwater, at Guitar Center or wherever, Amazon. And they work pretty well, but I'll show you some other ways too. So to use this, you need to know what each string, what note it should be. So first string is E. I'm going to tune that up. Second string is B. Third string is G. Fourth string is D. Fifth string is A. And sixth string is another E. So when you're using the tuner like this, on the screen it will show you the letter name of the note you're playing. So when I play an E, it'll say E, and then there's a dial, and you want the dial to be right in the center. It usually turns green or blue in this case. And you want the dial to be right in the center. And once you do that, you're at least pretty close to being in tune. So these tuners aren't as accurate as your ears can be. So I'm going to show you how to tune by ear. Now, if you have a piano or another instrument that's already in tune, I'm going to make this guitar out of tune again. And I'm going to tune it back up. So I left my low E string untouched. So let's say I got an E from another guitar that I know is in tune. Oop, that one ain't. Let's say I got an E from another guitar that's in tune or from the piano. It's good to tune to other instruments that you're playing with. If you're playing with a piano player can't really tune. So if the piano is slightly out of tune, you want to tune to that piano. So I got an E from another instrument or from a song I'm learning. Sometimes recordings are out of tune too, and if you're learning it, it's very hard to hear what to play if you're not in tune with the song. So sometimes when the song's out of tune, you gotta just tune to the song. So I got an E from somewhere, all right? So this E is in tune. Now I want the A to be in tune. So to do that, I play the A on the E string, which is in tune, and I want to match that A, the open A, to my A on the 5th fret of the 6th string. There we go. Okay, so now my A is in tune, so I can tune my D to the D on the A string, which is now in tune. So I play the D on the A string. That one's a little bit sharp. So I'm going to go below the note and make it flat. And come up to it. It's always better to come up to the note. It has to do with how the gears work in the tuner. And also sometimes the string can get stuck in the nut down here. This part is called the nut. The string can get stuck there sometimes, and then when you bend a note, it becomes unstuck, and then you're no longer in tune. Okay, so now our D is in tune, and then our G is a little bit sharp. So I'm going to go flat, and then come up to it. And what I'm listening for are the waves in the sound. So I'm going to make it out of tune again and listen for how the note sounds wobbly. Hear that? I'll make it more out of tune. You hear it wobbling? As those wobbles slow down and kind of disappear, that's when it's in tune. So the sound waves are in sync with each other. There we go. And then the B instead of being at the 5th fret on the G string, it's at the 4th fret on the G string. So I want to match this B to my open B. See, it's really wobbly. And then they slow down. Good. And then same thing there. Good. Okay, so that's using the 5th fret on the 5th fret, 5th fret, 5th fret, 4th fret, and then 5th fret again. Pretty good. I usually play a chord to double check my tuning. So I'll play maybe an open E, G chord, some of these open chords to check it. And then this one special chord I like to do that checks the tuning for me too. So it's like an E power chord, 7th fret and 9th fret on the 5th and 4th strings. 7th fret, 9th fret, and then 9th fret on the 3rd string. And then the open B, open E, and the open low E. So now I'm playing an E, another E, a B, another E again, another B, and another E. So if it's out of tune, you can hear it. You can hear it wobbling. Okay, great. So that's another way of tuning the guitar is using the fretted notes. Now, a third way that I think is sometimes even easier to hear. This is again tuning by ear, not using a tuner. I'm gonna make all these other strings out of tune again. Hey, okay. So this is going to be using harmonics. This is a little bit more challenging to do, but it is very effective also. So let's say my E is in tune. I'm going to double check it with the tuner, but let's pretend the tuner is a song or another instrument. Yep, still good, because this guitar is awesome. Yeah, I love this guitar. I'm not sponsored by Gibson or anything, but this guitar is fantastic. Okay, so my E is in tune. Good. Now, to match the A string, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a harmonic at the 5th fret. That makes another E. And then I'm going to play a harmonic at the 7th fret on the A string. You hear the wobbles slow down? You want to go really slow until the wobbles slow down, because if you go too fast, you'll pass it up, and then you won't be able to tell if it's sharp or flat. There we go. And then same thing here, 5th fret on the A string now. You got to put your finger right above the fret, but don't push down on so the string is touching the fret, just so your finger is touching the string enough to get that sound, and then you can let it go. So there's my harmonic on the 5th fret A string, 7th fret D string. That's a little sharp now, so I'm going to go flat. Listen for those wobbles to slow down. Yep, and then same thing here from the D, 5th fret, G, 7th fret. Listen for the wobbles to slow down. There we go. And now for the B, since the harmonic here at the 4th fret and the 5th fret, those should be the same, but they don't make the guitar in tune for some reason. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. So, but it doesn't work. So I do a harmonic at the 7th fret of the E string now. And that's going to match the B string open. And now we should be able to do this, right? The 5th fret of the B string to the 7th fret of the E, but that one doesn't usually work for me either. It just doesn't sound in tune when I match those. So I'm going to play a harmonic at the 7th fret of the A string and match that to the open E. Now I passed it up a little bit, so I went back down below it. There we go. And now I'll just double check. So 5th fret, 7th fret. Good. 5th fret, 7th fret. Good. 5th fret, 7th fret. Okay, good. 7th fret open. And 7th fret open. There we go. And I'll check it with my chord. Sounds pretty good to me. All right.